Hello and welcome to the Clever Fox YouTube channel. My name is Ilysse, and in today's video we are going to be mapping out my April budget using my Clever Fox Budget Book 2.0. This budget book is small but mighty, and it packs a big punch. It has everything that I need to map out my bills, upcoming expenses, financial goals, tracking my spending, and getting everything organized in my budget. If you're not yet subscribed to our channel, make sure that you click that subscribe button and you turn on your notification bell so that you don't miss any future videos. And also be sure to watch this entire video so that you don't miss any of the budgeting tips and tricks that we're sharing today. Let's get started. Now, because this is an undated budget book, the first thing we are going to do is get it dated. April. How are we in April already? One of the things that I love about this budget book is the compact size. It feels really manageable to have out on my desk, but also to toss in my purse if I need to bring it with me to track expenses. And it just doesn't take up too much room, and I really like that. Also, it being undated is great because you can start it at any time. Sometimes there's this misconception that you need to start a new planner on January 1st. And while it's great to be able to start a new planner on January 1st, it doesn't always work that way. This planner being undated really gives you permission to start it whenever it works best for your life or whenever it comes into your life. Okay, so now that we are dated, the first thing that I'm going to do is go ahead and pop my paydays in. I love these little corner payday stickers because April, I don't really have this issue, but some other months when there are federal holidays, my payday changes based on the holidays because they usually fall on a Monday and Mondays are my paydays. But it's really easy and convenient to be able to see the paydays right there. Perfect. Now, because this is a little bit more compact, instead of using stickers to note my bills, what I'm going to do is just add them in a highlighter. And what we'll do here is even add a little box that I can put here to note once I've paid the bill. If you have a shared household when it comes to finances and you want to track more than one person's payday or income, you could also use different color highlighters for that. And then once the bill is paid, all I have to do is just check it off like that. So we'll go in with the rest of these. All right, next up we have my week of a lot of bills. Here we have my car insurance, my internet, my cell phone, and my electric. Then at the end of the month, I have, where are we? On the 30th, my dental insurance. Okay, I also want to note in a different color just because it's unique for this month. And we're just going to outline the 15th really big here. And we're going to write tax day, yuck. Or yay, depending on whether you get a refund or whether you owe money. For me, it is a yuck, but we have tax day. Okay, so now I have a really good visual here of the bills and what the month looks like. The other thing that I'm going to do in, I think, a third color is I'm going to note days that I'm going to have some financial obligations because I feel like that'll help me. One of my big goals for this year is to do 3 no spend days per week. So I want to note days that I know I'll already be spending money. So I'm going to do this day. I'm going to say this quietly. I'm throwing a surprise party for my fiance on this day. I think he's in the house, so I don't want him to hear me, but we're going to do this. Then over here, I'm going to be in Florida, and I know I'll be spending money there. I'm assuming on his actual birthday, we will go to dinner, so let's note that. What other days do I know I will be spending money? On the 25th, I have a hair appointment. I have to make sure I budget for that. And that's a family event on the 26th. Just kind of looking to give myself a visual. So as I'm looking at the first week of April, I typically look at it from this day. I'll know that I'm definitely going to be spending money. Actually, this day I have a facial. So I know that I'm going to be spending money throughout that weekend. I'm going to try my best to do less spending during the week. As I go into this week, really my only options are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It may not be possible if I need to buy anything for my trip. Going into this week, I'll be able to see. So it really helps identify that. So the other thing that you could do with a highlighter is you could do something like this and note bills. I really love color coding in a budget planner. And then here, do something like spend dates. Okay, I think that that's a good start. The next thing that we're going to do is create a monthly plan, goals, and a budget. So first up, let's set some goals. Let's actually use these stickers because I think these are really cute. You can set little like money goals. Let's do 4. Okay, so my financial goals are going to be 3 no spend days per week. Finalize taxes. Let's fix this. Save 10% of income and contribute $500 to retirement. All right, upcoming expenses for the month. We'll add some bullet points here. And this is where you'll think about the events that you have, but also like birthdays or any other types of things that are going to be expenses that maybe aren't regular expenses. This trip to Florida, I have a facial, a hair appointment. April is a really busy month, and there are some things like financially. So for example, on May 1st, we have my fiance's sister's wedding. I think on April 15th, I'll be picking up my dress that I got altered, but I paid for that in March to get altered, but it's possible that there may be some additional costs and things associated with it. So it's all of those types of things. I will also need to get a manicure the week of the wedding, so we should add that in too. I know that I typically budget for manicures anyway, but I think in my mind I've had like, oh, this wedding is May 1st, but it's really, it's the first day of May, so all the expenses leading up to it are going to be for April, or many of the expenses. I'm just going to write manicures because I already know that I have a manicure appointment on this day. So typically I get my nails done every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how fast they grow. So in this situation, it would be 1, 2, 3, I'd be cutting it close. I'm getting a manicure this day for a specific reason, but I'd have to figure out the best way because then I could get one this day, but then I would need one less than 2 weeks later. So what I may do is try to extend this to 3 weeks, 1, 2, 3, maybe get one this day, but then it's almost a week before the wedding. So that's that's an issue for me to figure out, not necessarily a budgeting issue. All right, now we have some upcoming expenses in here. Let's add in the bills that I put here. So we have mortgage, HOA, Amazon, Honda, but that kind of gives you an idea of like the different things to think about when you're looking at your budget. It's not always just about what bills are coming. It's like what events are coming up that maybe are going to cost money. Now, these are both due on the 1st. This one is due on the 3rd. This is the 6th, 15, 16, 17, and 18. One that I did not have room for in here is my dental insurance. So we're just going to add it here. Okay, now we have the amount due. So my amount due is split depending on if it's a bill that's shared or not. So like mortgage and our HOA are both shared bills. My Amazon is a credit card, so I don't have the amount yet for that. My car is not a shared bill. My car insurance is also not a shared bill. My internet is a shared bill. The house is also a shared bill, the electric. So we try to budget around, I don't know what the bill will be, but I'm going to budget $150 because last month the bill was a little bit lower. Since now we're in spring, we're not using as much heat. And so this would be half. So hopefully it's around $300. Actually, I put this in the wrong spot, didn't I? Okay, so we'll put this here. This will be here. And then we'll need correction for this. And this is 104. All right, next up is going to be my income. So my income for the month is $52.10, and then we're going to note my savings. So I have my retirement savings and then 10% of income. Now I'm going to automatically add these numbers in here because now I know that what I have to budget with is after what I save. So income minus savings, and then that will be what I have to budget with. So really we're looking at, let's look at this number, $52.10 minus 500 minus 521 is 4189. So now we're going to create a budget. The first thing I'm going to do is write down the bills that are related to home. And this is 1788.98. I may round that when I add it together because it'll just be easier. Then we have my HOA. I would consider Optimum and PSE&G to both be home related. And again, PSE&G is our gas and electric. Now, I typically do a home miscellaneous budget, and this could be anything like paper towels, anything that we need for the house, like cleaning supplies. I'm only going to budget $25 because the total there would then end up being $50 for both of us. So let's add this up. Again, I'm going to round it just to make it easier. And our total here is $22.34. All right, now food. I'm going to do groceries and restaurants. We don't do a ton of grocery shopping. We actually get a quarterly meat delivery, and then we buy a lot of frozen vegetables and like pantry items, but in bulk, and cook with those. Like yesterday, I actually went grocery shopping and only spent $99, and that was the first time this month that we've gone grocery shopping. So for the entire month for groceries, I'm going to budget $150, which will give us $300 total. I'm also going to do that for restaurants. I am going to budget separately for going to Florida, and we'll put that in over here probably. Now our total here is $300. Healthcare, I have my dental insurance. I also have a copay for my doctor. So that brings us to $71.35. My only loan is my mortgage. My car, which we'll put under transportation, is a lease, so it's not really like a debt or loan, so we don't need to use this. But we can add in, let's go over to transportation. We'll go to personal afterwards. So for my car, I have my lease payment, and I have my insurance, and also gas. So my insurance is $122. Gas, I'm only going to budget $40 for the month. We tend to not really use my car very much, so I don't think I'll need to fill it up more than once. And our total here is $583. Okay, now my bills. Let's come back here. So the only other bill that wasn't in these already is my Verizon. That's my cell phone, so I would consider that personal, and that is $104. I'm also going to put my facial in here, and that is $120, including tip. We're going to do manicures. This is going to be a little bit of an expensive personal month. $120 will be for 2 manicures, and then my hair appointment is going to be $300, including tips. So that's going to be a pretty expensive month personally. Let's see, 104 plus 120 plus 120 plus 300. 644. I think that that's a lot. I don't normally get, I get my hair done typically quarterly. The last time I got it done was December. And then manicures I do get regularly. Facials I'm only getting leading up to my wedding in August, just to kind of clear my skin and, improve how makeup sits on it. So while it is expensive, it's not necessarily something that I'm doing on a regular basis. Now, let's add this trip here. So when it comes to this Florida trip, there's already things that I've paid for. I've prepaid for a dinner that we're having one of the nights. I've prepaid for a boat day that we're having, but I know that there's going to be other expenses like, daily food and drinks and things like that. So what I'm going to do is budget $100, which I think is high, but I'd rather over budget than under. $100 per full day that I'm going to be there. So we get there Thursday and I leave Sunday. So we're going to do Friday, Saturday, or 2 full days, and then one more 100 for half of Thursday, half of Sunday. So 300 total on top of what I've already done. And then this, I'm just going to write here. I've already budgeted it. So a lot of what I do when I'm doing a budget plan is I prepare months ahead for big expenses. So I don't need to include this fully in my April budget because I've already budgeted for that. It just happens to be that I'm paying it in April. What I am going to do is add a little bit of extra just in case other things come up that are going to cost any money. Okay, then the next thing I want to do is just write here miscellaneous, because there's always things that come up that I forget about or don't expect. So now what we want to do is take the income and subtract the expenses. I'm also going to subtract the savings. Okay, we are left with $356.65 before I get here, which means that we've budgeted $43.35 over what the income is without even hitting miscellaneous. Typically, here's what you would do in this situation. You would look at where in this area you can cut out $43.35. The way that I would probably cut this out, the only way I see possible to cut this out, because I already have these things scheduled, would be to lower gas by driving less and lower grocery and restaurant spending. For my situation, I don't necessarily need to do that because when I budget with a certain amount of income, I do have another job that I pay myself for, and I pay myself a small amount. I have the opportunity to give myself a little bit more. I don't budget with my entire income in that sense. I tend to mostly budget just with my full-time job, not my other job. So for this situation, what I am going to do is just give myself a $100 buffer here. And now I know that we need to do $52.10 plus that. And instead the income is going to be $506. No, I did that wrong. Okay, I guess we'll start from here. So the total income that I need to budget with is $335. It's a lot of 5s and 3s. And then that will equal my expenses. That will be the difference. Now, of course, this is just the budget. The pages here are going to be for the expense tracker where I can go back and see where I overspent, where I underspent. And now I have the idea of what I need to pay myself for the month. So hopefully this gives you a good idea of how to use this budget book. I think that this budget book is a really simple, easy way to make progress on your budget, but even start a budget if you're someone new to budgeting and you're looking for ways to just take control of your money. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you are not yet subscribed to our channel, please be sure to click that subscribe button and turn on your notification bells and give this video a thumbs up. You can pick up this budget book over at cleverfoxplanner.com along with the budget stickers. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you next time.